Bah humbug, I will be James.
Ho, 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 this is Corwyn.
And welcome to This Movie's Gay. Corwyn's laughing too hard to do anything.
Oh my God, and we have a special guest with us today.
Hello, I feel like I should have had a better intro. My name is Ryan.
Yeah, Corwyn, I was waiting for you.
Okay.
My intro ruined this podcast.
Jingle bells, I'm Ryan. Is that...
Yeah, we should have set it up.
We should have set it up.
Yeah, it's on brand.
Okay.
Jingle bells, I'm Ryan. There we go.
Okay, hey, I'm going to say right off the bat, how come this movie didn't have and this is the golden goose type deal. Get the biggest goose, the one as big as me.
That happens in the normal, Christmas Carol stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, to preface, this week we are watching not Marley and Me. I keep wanting to say Marley and Me. It's not the movie about the dog. It's the Scrooge and Marley, right? Or
Yeah,
Marley
that's
and
it.
Scrooge.
No, it's Scrooge and Marley.
Scrooge and Marley.
Because the short way of saying Scrooge and Marley is S&M, which ha 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 ha.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And Ryan actually has a lot to say about this movie, mainly because he actually worked on this. So we have, this is a special guest, but a special guest because we actually have someone that was involved with the project.
Yeah. I was on the wardrobe department for this film. I'm also an extra in one scene with a lot of iMovie.
He played the
moments.
dancing queen.
For anyone who wants to find you in this scene, what are they looking for?
Sure. So you're going to want to look for a big old gay disco scene with a lot of starbursts and flashing things on it. You cannot miss me. I am literally in 6 shots.
Well, what are they looking for?
You're looking for an Asian guy without a beard, because they didn't have a beard then.
Okay.
Just dancing his full head off behind people that are doing real acting.
Hey guys, tweet at This Movie's Gay a screenshot of him and circle it. We'll see if you found him or not.
If you
we'll give
found
you a
him,
shout out.
Yeah, we'll give you a shout out. That can be a prize. Yes.
Hey,
not
Duo
easy to
Grun
miss.
Fox, I know you're listening. You've been challenged. That's one of my biggest fans on Twitter.
Love it. I love that we have a lot of the fans from mostly speaking Sentai following us and stuff too.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Hey, listen to Mostly Speaking Sentai.
This is why we cross over podcast speakers. Yes. But before we get started into this movie, let's do a quick synopsis rundown of the film. It's basically a Christmas Carol, but it's gay. I will let Ryan give more details about this. So go ahead, Ryan. Give us a quick rundown. This is going to be full of spoilers, by the way.
Give us those juicy deets.
So the overarching theme of this film, right, is it's a classic Scrooge story. What the Christmas Carol? That's it. It's the Christmas Carol, but told through a queer lens.
Is it a Disney's Christmas Carol told through a gay lens or a Muppets Christmas Carol told through a gay lens?
I mean, from what I can gather, the main character was definitely based off of Scrooge McDuck.
Yes.
Yeah. DuckTales.
He was the most Scroogey Scrooge I've ever seen.
Yeah, that Disney money is tough to crack through. But no, it is a Christmas Carol, but through a queer lens. Most, if not all, of the main characters are somewhere on the queer spectrum.
That Kinsey scale.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, I don't think any character in the film reproduces genetically. Biologically?
I mean,
without assistance?
Yeah, some of them are making a child with their own genetics, so I think it would be without assistance.
Sure.
But you could also be straight and still need assistance.
That's fair. That was kind of short-sighted of me to make that statement.
Bah, humbug.
Someone's gonna blog about it. God damn it.
No, yes, please. Hey, if you guys are a blogger, good or bad, we need the publicity.
Give us the views. Is it views when it's a podcast?
Listens, downloads.
Give us the downloads.
And give us the down low on this movie.
Yeah. So just run through the plot real quick. Like, what happens?
Sure. So the basic plot is we open on Marley, who is in purgatory, not hell, because it's Christmas, trying to get his chains off, and he goes to try to get Scrooge to not be a dick. That's the basic beginning of it. We then see Scrooge being a jerk and terrible to everybody. There's a whole bunch of Scrooge owns a bar. That's how this one gets different.
Screws.
Called Screws.
I think that might have been my first. No, that's not my first note. That's my third note.
He had a lot of notes in the very beginning. Okay. Scrooge owns a bar called Screws. And he's a Scrooge.
He's terrible to everybody, and I mean it's pretty. If you've ever seen A Christmas Carol, this is it's Scrooge being terrible. He's then met by his buddy Marley, and Marley's like, "There's gonna be a bunch of ghosts coming to show you some stuff," and we start seeing the three ghosts. There's Christmas past,
yes,
then present, then future, and then Scrooge turns his whole life around and is not terrible after one night of bad dreams.
He turned it around in less than a year.
Less than a year. It was less than a fortnight.
It was like a few hours.
Yeah.
But we see the next year because we see Halloween. That's when the baby was born. It was in a in a skeleton onesie.
There were like little things showing like what has happened, which I did appreciate that it wasn't like big graphic MS Paint text on the screen. Halloween. And yeah, he turned his life around. But I do have to say that right off the bat, this Scrooge, I've seen the other Christmas carols, but they're not super predominant in my mind. But this Scrooge definitely was the cattiest and like the meanest.
Yeah, he was rude.
They're like the other Scrooges, I'm like, oh, he just says bah humbug, and it's like, oh, I'm just not gonna give you money and like all that. But like this Scrooge was like, he was cutting everyone
and like borderline racist a couple times too. I'll throw that out
definitely.
there.
He practically said to his niece, "You killed my sister."
Yeah,
without
that
even
was fucked up.
I mean, he said it in more of a wordy way because he loves the dictionary. I get
it.
It was his. Whoa, wait. Is that wordplay that they did?
I think that's absolutely wordplay.
Okay. Yeah. No, he's given that dictionary, and from Fezziwig gives it over to him, and that face he looks, he just says, "Get that book. Take what's yours." That face, that Scrooge, old Scrooge, looking at the scene. He does like that meme, that baby meme, where it's the fist that he's like, "Yes, get it, victory." Yeah, that's exactly
was Fezziwig's look.
No, that was Scrooge's
look. Yes.
Old Scrooge looking
victory.
At past, getting that dictionary.
He did, because he found the love of his life, like literally that night on the dance floor.
Yeah, but then that love of his life fleets away and dies.
Mostly because he's a miserly asshole and like literally cuts out Fezziwig, who is the person who like took care of him after his dad like shoved him out of his house.
Fezziwig, I wrote down, totally plays D&D. That dude.
He is a game master.
Yeah, he was all neck beard. And, okay, this is what I wrote down.
His beard was fake.
Oh, no.
That
don't
beard was
tell me
fake. That beard was fake.
Beard was very
no.
fake. But it definitely was, it was quite a fake beard.
So I wrote down, Fezziwig is so cool. And then maybe 3 minutes later on the same line, I put, nah, just a cokehead.
Yes, there are drugs in this movie.
Wait. You guys noticed it. I don't know what a popper is.
Okay, all right.
Ryan, this is your corner. Go ahead.
This is so the way that the Ghosts of Christmas Past
I like that you're so like.
I have to think. I
Yeah,
don't
you're
remember
like,
which one it was.
There's
It was
three.
Ronnie. Whoever the hell Ronnie played.
Yeah,
There
it
are
was Christmas
three
Past.
in every single. Can I ask one quick question?
Sure.
Who was Scrooge in a Muppets Christmas Story? It wasn't Kermit, was it?
No. No, Kermit was Bob Cratchit.
Was it
I don't
Gonzo?
remember. Was it one of the old men? That would make
No,
more sense.
The
No.
old men came back as
They
the
were-
people in chains.
Oh, yeah.
It was Gonzo, right?
I think it was Gonzo because Fozzie Bear was one of the ghosts.
Okay.
I'm Googling it right now because it's just we're not gonna know.
Hey, Corwyn,
What?
when you're looking at that, remember hold your phone out in front of the mic, and then you can talk
Yes.
right into it.
Michael Caine was Ebenezer Scrooge.
Wait, it was
so
a
it
human.
was a human.
It was a human.
It should have been Gonzo.
Yeah. But Gonzo was in it too. I don't remember who Gonzo was.
Gonzo was Tiny Tim. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Could've
Clearly,
been.
I asked who was Scrooge. But Poppers.
So the Ghost of Christmas Past, because I'm remembering this now. He transports current Scrooge to the 70s with the use of magic poppers, which for those listeners who don't know what a popper is, it is a small glass bottle filled with essentially video head cleaner that is used within gay sex fairly frequently. You just like sniff it and it gives you kind of like a head high and
It's
it
supposed to
lasts
really,
about
like-
15 seconds. It's
So-
not that impressive.
The DVD era killed Poppers.
created poppers.
It created poppers. Now people just use the poppers for poppers and not for video head
Oh, wait,
cleaners
so
anymore.
you can still buy
Oh,
Poppers?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, geez.
they're everywhere.
everywhere.
And they're still used
Mhm.
in that way today.
Why Poppers?
The thing that I've heard from people that use them is that they help relax you, which is very important.
Specifically,
in-
if you're on the bottom
yeah.
or a bottom. I don't know why I said the bottom.
I
you-
mean, some
there's just
people are
one bottom.
first.
Do you ever get Popper dick?
I don't. I haven't used them, so I don't know.
But is that a term? You know, like whiskey dick? Is there
No.
Popper dick?
No, I have never heard that term before in my life.
Corwyn, Google it. Google it. I'm kidding. You don't need
I'm
to
not
Google
gonna.
it.
I have my safe for work search turned on. I don't want to turn that off and Google that.
Popper dick.
Hey guys, tweet at us. Is Popper
Google
dick a
this.
thing? Oh,
Please don't.
It is a
don't.
thing. But so anyway, with the poppers,
What kind of thing is it?
it's just it. So, God, I'm like the resident
On the spot?
on the spot.
No.
So okay, if you are on the receiving end, so if you are bottoming, right, it relaxes your muscles and it makes for bottoming much easier. God, my mom's gonna listen to this.
hey, guess what?
Shout out to
My-
Ryan's mom.
My mom listens to everything I've done, and I've done some pretty disgusting stuff.
Sorry,
I mean,
Mom.
you listen to the first episode. James talks about rooping out pubes, like
Rupin,
rooping out,
we're
rooping
that's
out.
the new thing. Hey guys,
I can't speak.
don't shave your pubes, roop them out.
Oh my
But
God.
if you are a top, the poppers have a tendency to like make you lose your erection.
Yeah.
So it
Oh.
actually like as a top, if you're a top and you're snorting too many poppers, it'll actually kind of like kill the whole thing.
Now, can you do like a nice balance of some Viagra and poppers if you really if you want that hard on, but you really want to have
very
some fun?
interested in this.
It might be
popper.
real dodgy on the heart, but I bet you probably could.
Okay. I'm going to have to get some poppers and Viagra. You're like, James, you're not gay. Why do you
James,
need
why do you
these?"
need popper? I mean, I don't question anyone's sexual practices.
Hey, guys, I don't do poppers. I do whippets. It's been established in my life, not on this podcast. I don't do whippets.
James makes jokes and then is like, "Oh wait, I haven't explained this joke."
So wait, so Corwyn, are you telling me that you've never experienced poppers ever?
No, I've never used poppers.
Okay, so this joke might fall because nobody in this room has done poppers before. Anyway, okay, so
I've done Freon. Does that count?
similar.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never done
Yeah, I know.
Freon. I'm guessing. But so it gives you like a head rush and you know it relaxes all your muscles. Anyway, so for the film, poppers were purchased. And
that was real.
It was but it was emptied because we weren't trying to get everybody, all head rushy. But nobody thought to like clean the bottle out.
Oh my
so it was
God.
emptied. But you still had the residuals of popper
The fume.
smell. So, and several of our like crew guys who were straight had obviously, I guess not obviously, but had never really experienced a popper before either. And so they were smelling it to make sure it was empty, and like several of the guys were like, whoa. So the poppers weren't totally unpoppered.
How I'm so sorry. This is but this is actually movie related.
No, yeah, this happened in the film.
How long does one thing of poppers last you? Is it just the fumes from the liquid, or does the liquid evaporate? What's
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to.
Hey guys,
I'd
tweet
imagine for a
us.
while.
Okay.
I mean, there's tricks to keeping your poppers fresh. I'm on a podcast talking about poppers right now. You can keep them in the freezer. That will keep them fresher. That doesn't freeze because it's like an alcohol-based thing. After a while, they'll lose their potency, as anything does.
I feel like it's like sort of like, ethanol, where you can like, you see it like evaporating as it's like opened, right? Yeah, that's how that works.
Sure, it might actually be, ethanol might actually be in there. I don't know. Google it.
I'm the resident Google expert.
Every one of us has a pocket computer these days. We could figure it out. But yeah, no, that's.
Oh, you really don't need to figure out on the podcast
I was
what
kidding.
a poppet is made out of.
Popper.
A popper, yes.
Yeah.
A poppet is different. A poppet is used in
fireworks.
voodoo?
No, a poppet is one of those things you throw on the ground, isn't it?
Maybe. I was
the
thinking
firework
of, like,
things?
Yeah.
I was thinking of like poppet, like the doll, like a poppet.
Oh no, I was thinking, like
Totally
bop
different
it,
wrong.
but instead you pop it, or it's when you do a popper and a whip it one after another, get
It's a
real
poppet.
fucked up.
Please don't.
Again, all these things I feel like would be real dodgy on the heart. I wouldn't recommend doing
Real
poppers
dodgy.
and whippets at the
You
same
want to
time.
know what? Take some of your grandfather's heart medicine.
Don't do that. Don't do that at all.
Popper and a fucking whip it. Get real googie.
That's not how that works.
Hey.
We don't want to kill our listeners.
Hey.
Please don't.
Find your dog's heartworm medicine. Roll it in some cheese. Do some Freon. Let's throw that on there. You can find it in any AC unit. And your voice will get real low like this. And that was the drug of choice in my neighborhood for a little bit, until one of the houses started putting in poisonous AC stuff. I mean, Freon is poisonous. It made a doctor tell my mom, if your son keeps doing this, he's going to be dead in a few months. Not me. I have another sibling. I only did Freon once and knew, hey, never again.
I just don't like the head high feel. I don't like, because it just makes me feel like I'm not present, and I hate that. So
Okay,
I don't.
envision
None.
this. A suburb. There's a cul-de-sac at the end. There are 3 stoners with a trash bag. There's air in it. No, there's not really air. There's Freon in it, just walking around inhaling that in broad daylight. That was my neighborhood.
We have gotten wildly off topic.
But there's poppers in the movie.
Yes.
There's poppers in the movie. I think
puts
I
us
actually
back.
went way over my levels. Whatever.
No, only for one. I turned you up a little bit just to kind of round you out.
I definitely I don't need to be rounded out. I don't need poppers. Jeez. But
I gotta try a popper, guys. I'm kidding. I'm straight edge.
my roommate talked about how she used to like work for a place that sold poppers, and she just didn't really know what they were or what they were used for. So like some people came in and were asking her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I think you just like rub it on the area."
No, no.
Not at all.
Wait, but she was probably meaning the like VCR head.
No, that's nope. Mm-mm.
Oh, she was
But-
saying no, you rub it on your genitalia?
Yeah.
Oh. Why would she wait, are poppers sold as a drug thing?
You know those things that are at convenience stores that are like on the counter that's like, oh, this pill will do this, or this like shot will do this?
Yes.
It's basically in that sense.
Okay.
It is also completely legal. Like it is not
Yeah,
illegal
it's-
at all.
It's not illegal. It's just a thing. And
It's just a thing.
It's one of those things you see and you're like, that looks super sketchy. That's basically what it is.
Okay. Hey guys, if we had a PO box, I would tell you to send us poppers.
Please do not send us poppers in the mail. This whole podcast consists of James telling you to do things and me saying, no, do not.
Heartworm medication.
Okay. Back to the premise of the movie, though. Ghost of Christmas Past uses poppers to transport Scrooge around, and that is hilarious. Love that story with the set and not cleaning them out properly. Make sure if you are using something like that as a prop with, fumes that do things to clean out those things.
Clean
Yes.
it out with some bleach and just leave the bleach in there.
That'll make it worse.
Ammonia. Throw some ammonia and bleach in there.
Don't start a chemical fire.
Get some red phosphorus, some Benadryl. I'm just telling people how to make meth right now.
Please.
On this week's episode of Breaking Bad with poppers.
Okay. Okay. Let's get to notes. Let's get away from the popper talk. We got stuck on it.
The number one way to get me distracted on a podcast is tell me a weird drug thing, and that'll get me going.
All of our future movies are just gonna have weird drug things. That's you're welcome, world. You're welcome. What notes did you have in the beginning? Because you said you had 3 of them before that one scene.
10 Earth years. Marley said he was in this purgatory for 10 Earth years, but in here it's much longer. It seems like if there's an eternity type deal, 10 Earth years would seem shorter than longer.
Yeah,
Also, why did he say no means no? One of the ghosts did. Was Marley
Marley was a fuckboy. Like, let's just put it out there. He was a fuckboy.
But they never touched on him needing consent, or unless, Fizzywig never said no to the contract thing.
I mean, they did distract him with dancing go-go boys to sign his contract.
And cocaine.
And cocaine.
And champagne.
And champagne.
Yeah, there were
that-
booze there too.
And that fucking metal music.
As we've established, I don't know music. I don't remember that.
Yeah, they were. Remember, I said, do people strip to metal?
Oh, you did say that.
You
I
did.
was just
It was
so
the 80s.
distracted.
At that particular moment was in the 80s, and so that's how we showed the 80s was metal music, dancing go-go boys. See?
I felt more like
80s night, the
They-
go-go bar. Let's go.
I was thinking more that because they were doing something deceptive, they used metal music instead of, they could have used 80s pop music.
Is that just disco?
And that would be more
what?
70s.
Oh.
But disco is different than pop music. Corwyn, you don't know music.
I don't know music. No, I mean, wouldn't they just distract him with disco in this
Oh,
sense?
yeah, yes. You could still do that.
Because was it 80? Oh, I guess it was 80s. I'm just thinking about the beginning when he went to Fizzywig.
The initial flashback
was 70s.
Is 70s, where he gets kicked out of his house by his dad, and then he gets put under the wing of Fezziwig and
Fizzywig
and Marley, and throughout the years you start to see like the decline of Ebenezer's soul, essentially.
Oh.
And so
that
the
makes
80s
sense.
is the the 80s is kind of like the cap of where Christmas past ends.
Which the Christmas past, I was thinking if all of the past, present, and future are the same length, fuck, this is going to be a long movie because the past was 30 minutes, it felt like.
I mean, the past is always the longest segment in the Christmas Carol movies and stuff.
I always
it's
thought they
always
were
like
evened out.
no, it's always the past is so much longer because he is older, so he's got a lot of past.
Okay.
And then the present, there's not really much to do there because he's just seeing his loved ones and things. And then, well, the people who love him since he feels nothing. And then
because of those poppers.
Yeah, and then the future usually just shows his death and like the after effects of that, which isn't very long.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say, and the future just shows his dick.
Shanary.
Can I, since we're on the past, can I go off some notes on this?
Yeah, do
please.
it.
One thing, whisk me away, Scrooge, when he had the whisk and trying to fend off Marley.
I love that he had cooking utensils in that kitchen because he clearly did not use that kitchen.
I know, and he said, I specified no MSG.
Which I have notes about. Let me just say,
it is racist.
I have notes about.
Yeah, it's
As
very racist.
My dad owned a Chinese food restaurant. He still does. I think. I worked in the restaurant for a long ass time, and y'all, MSG does not like kill you.
It's not it's not really
a
a
flavoring enhancing thing. It is not like the whole no MSG thing is just utter nonsense. I have notes about that.
It's just racist rhetoric that's been used to discredit Chinese and food and stuff, like Oriental foods. In America.
Use Oriental.
Sorry.
We just got the theater changed, man. Come on.
Wait, did we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's changed?
It will now become the Nederlander Theater beginning in February when Dear Evan Hansen gets here.
Chicago has a theater that was called the Oriental Theater, and now it will be different.
Now it'll be called, yeah different.
Nice. That's lovely.
But go on, sorry, off topic.
Asian foods. Yes.
Oh, also, I put down, I order the pretty much the same exact thing, minus the no MSG thing from Thai food. I was like, is that a Scrooge-like dinner? Because if so, I guess I'm a dang Scrooge, bah humbug.
I mean, you were very adamant about introducing this podcast with bah humbug.
I didn't.
You wanted bah humbug.
Well, because I didn't want to give you the mean one.
Oh.
I was being nice.
I'm the mean one, though.
Oh, wait,
No.
you are?
In life, usually.
No, you're not.
Ryan can attest to this.
Is he mean? Oh, I need to quickly close the radiator. Just realized that went off.
Okay.
But you guys vamp. I'll be good.
Vamp.
Ryan, am I mean?
I wouldn't say you're mean. I mean, perhaps somewhat void of emotion sometimes.
Yes.
Y'all, so I used to work with Corwyn back in the day, and to hear Corwyn talk on the phone is the greatest thing in the world because he sounds like a robot. Corwyn will answer the phone and be like, "Hello, this is Corwyn. How can I help you today?"
There's literally a moment where I had to call out to like hundreds of patrons to be like, "Hey, we need to move your seats," and we had a script with it, so I'd just be like, "Hello, this is Corwyn with." And just like people would call, and I would answer the phone, and they'd be like, "No, I want to talk to Corwyn," and I'm like, "This is Corwyn," and they're like, "You're the robot, obviously."
Do people just like continue to try and press 0 on you when you call them?
There were a few times where they were like hitting the button, like I could hear like a dial button being hit multiple times, and I'm like, "Oh my god,
I'm real.
I'm a real person." I did say that to someone once. Like, it's just something about like calling multiple people and using like the same phone voice and doing a script. You just kind of get into a rhythm of it. So I just sounded like a robot, and literally everyone in the office commented on it every day. And it was the most beautiful thing to me. I loved it so much.
Only if you could have recorded your own voice, like just recorded that message, and after the main message, you're still on the phone. So if they have questions, you answer the questions as your real self.
I mean, that's basically what happened, because if they didn't answer the phone, we had a little script to give them. If they did answer the phone, there was a longer script to read. So like I would just be reading that, and they'd be like, "Operator, person," and I'm like, I am a person.
I'm a person and I matter.
What else did? Okay, so I asked, what is Poppers? Dad says you can come home this year, says his sister. So sad.
It was
Did
like
his
a
dad know?
I don't think so, but it was like a military. If you saw like there was like a shot and like in the background you saw it was like some military sort of boarding school.
Yeah, so
thing.
when we first go to the past, we see a young Ben Scrooge at some sort of boarding school.
Yeah.
And you see him and his best friend.
He's
Air
doing
quotes.
air
I'm
quotes.
air quoting
quotes.
right now in case anyone's curious. And you get the assumption that Ben is fairly maybe like effeminate or whatever, and that's why his like dad doesn't like him or his father doesn't like him because I don't know why his father doesn't like him, but he doesn't. And his sister comes in and is like, Dad says you can come home for Christmas this year, and he's like, cool. I hope I don't have a really embarrassing situation and get kicked out of the house.
Which is exactly what happens.
Yeah, because what was his name?
I had no idea.
Whatever boy he brings back pretty much says, I'm paraphrasing, to his dad, can I bring your son upstairs to check out some pornography?
Basically, yeah, but as long as it's straight pornography, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
it's
just
insane.
that whole scene. I was just thrown off by like the puka shell necklace. That
How
he was
dare
wearing.
you? Those were mine. Those were my puka shells that my mom brought back from Hawaii in
I was
2002. You monster! How dare you?
So thrown off. I was like, why does he got my pukas? Just thinking of that scene in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They have puka shell necklace in that show. At
It was
one point.
historically accurate.
I mean, I believe it. I 100% believe it. And I love how many clothes and things like that you would turn to me during the movie and just go, that's mine.
Or that is mine now.
Yeah. I'm like, yep, I've seen you wear that. And you'd go, how dare you?
But yeah, so we have that scene where the dad walks in on
Bringing them beers.
bringing them beers because they're underage and that's not inappropriate.
Well, back then, if they were 18, it might have... The legal age for drinking in some states was 18.
I don't think they were 18 at that point, just because he was still at like, a boarding school instead of like college. And it did say that he never finished high school.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
thinking that's it.
Because I thought that was college.
No, just a weird boarding school.
You want to know what? For someone who hadn't finished college, he's doing very well for himself.
He really is. He just didn't learn empathy, which
Yeah.
I mean, he's a baby boomer. They're all doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, baby boomers, stop being Ebenezer Scrooge. This is a PSA
That's it.
by Corwyn. You're welcome.
But yeah, go on.
Let's see what else we have. The dad kept yelling, "Dead! Dead!
Yes.
My son is dead to me!" Even when he left, you could still hear from inside, "Dead!" to his sister. He moves her, and he should have just moved her well looking, just dead at him outside, dead at him outside, and just screamed, "Dead!" It felt like a SpongeBob bit.
I also want to comment that I was like, where did the friend go? Like, the one he was just making out with was gone.
Yeah, he
Like,
dashed
he just
away.
got kicked out of his house, and his like best friend, air quotes, was just gone.
Does that qualify as a dong and dash?
No, because there was no dong.
It was just making out, which at that point I did turn to Ryan and was like, is this just an elaborate porno that we're watching right now? I don't... I also have to point out in the beginning, like, I was like, why does Scrooge talk like a James Bond villain? He like straight up, just like the way he like his cadence and his like tone of voice and everything is like he is a Bond villain. And I'm like, are you gonna destroy the world? What's happening?
In every single Bond villain scene, you see a dictionary. You see a cat, dictionary. Underneath the cat being pet, the cat is laying on top of a dictionary.
Well, to give it height, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like a cat puddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I own a cat. I wish he sat on a dictionary. He likes sitting on everything else that we throw on the ground. You start wrapping papers. He's been sleeping for 7 hours. Or not wrapping papers. That's my stogie buddies out there. Wrapping presents with wrapping paper. All of a sudden, he shows up. He's laying on the wrapping paper. You have to move this 18-pound cat off from there.
If he fits, he sits is literally the only thing I've heard. If he doesn't fit, he still sits.
Yes, he does. He loves sitting in boxes, and there was, a box that fit like something small, like a PSP would go in there. He tried sitting in it. He's a weirdo.
Oh, goodness. To live with cats.
There was a banner that said "More AIDS, no condoms," quotes the Pope. Did you guys see that? There's a picture of the Pope, and then speech bubble said "No condom" or "More AIDS, no condom usage."
What is that banner trying to
It's
say?
It's saying it was cheeky.
Is it trying to be helpful, or is it just trying to be hurtful?
It was in the shelter. The gay,
okay.
Yes, it was.
Which, another note, that shelter, why did the shelter people show up to Scrooge? Like, for what point? He was just a dick, and there's nothing that says that he has anything to do with them.
I wrote down, I said, why do they even try for charity to this guy? Because they're saying we're trying again this year. He must be so wealthy and...
Yeah, like, they just, like, they, like, take off their coats and they make a big deal about it, but, like, why him? And why do they, like, subject themselves to that, that ridicule that he, gives?
I think in theory it is because he owns, if not operates, the majority of the gay clubs on whatever street we're calling Halstead in this particular film.
I mean, it literally like shows him looking out a window, and then there's the big Halstead Street like statues out there, and it says Halstead on them. So we can say that it's Halstead.
It was all filmed here.
Can I say something on that scene where all the ghosts are? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
The ghosts were like poking and like pointing at a lady sitting down, right?
I didn't notice
and
that.
I thought that was going to be part of that's the ghost we're meeting, or this is someone who we will meet later. No, it was it seemed like a sad lady, like someone who would be in Beetlejuice, just sitting down, being pointed at, and it felt like they knew the ghosts were around.
I feel like I should rewatch that scene and see like what poor PA had to sit on the side of the street.
It's just you.
It wasn't me. I have the starburst on me. That's a hint, listeners, for whoever's trying to find my picture.
Dancing in the back with the starburst.
Duo Grun Fox, look at that starburst.
My friends will be able to find you.
I know a lot of your friends, Corwyn.
I know.
That's also cheating. Nina, don't you do it.
Nina's gonna be like, I found Ryan, what's my prize? I want to get a shout out now.
I mean, you just gave her a shout out. She doesn't need to find him. We're skirting around 40 minutes right now, so we might want to start now with rattling off notes.
I love that the charity people went to visit Scrooge, and then like at the end they was just like, oh, you're a pathetic queen, and just like walked away. It's like, oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Also, on those charity people, he said it's bad business to be just giving away your money. If it's a not-for-profit and you are giving to charity, that is good for business. It's a tax write-off. Yes.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Scrooge. You don't know shit.
He never finished high school. He just listened to Fizzywig.
Yeah, Fizzywig. That dude was just giving things away for free. There was no paper trail because that might affect his coke use.
I do like that they did sort of portray like that, that older queen that does kind of take the younger gays that are being kicked out of their homes and things under their wing. I do like that was in there. Because that is an archetype in like gay film and stuff that you kind of see. Mm-hmm. And I guess in gay real life. Yeah.
When I grow up, could I be one of those?
Get that fake beard that Fezziwig has, and we'll
It's
see.
not fake. I don't care what Ryan says. It's real to me.
I also had who has dinner at 4?
It's Christmas. A lot of people love
Yes. Also,
That's so early.
no, but also in Chicago, Christmas time at 4:00, it is dead of night.
I mean, you're not wrong because I'm looking out the window right now and it's like literally black outside.
What's the Lincoln Park Zoo lights start at 4:30, and that's because it's dark at 4:30.
It's so dark outside you can't see in front of you.
Yeah.
It's yes.
We went to
I love the North.
Oh, speaking of, okay, wait, can I talk
Yes,
about a thing?
yes.
Can I talk about a thing? Okay. So, there were a few main filming locations, but one of them, which was like all of like Fezziwig's interior, like that whole set, was at an establishment that was called Man's Country.
Yes, I had questions about that and you said you would answer them.
I would answer them. So for
answer.
those of you who do not know, Man's Country is a former men's bathhouse that used to be in Andersonville. It just closed.
I love Andersonville.
Yeah, it closed within like the last year. You've probably walked past it many times. But it is a 2-story bathhouse, and the main floor of it is like hallways and rooms where you go and you do your thing, and then the top floor is there's a giant ass like stage and dance floor that apparently Bette Midler used to perform at,
Whoa.
like during the old like bathhouse Betty days, like
I didn't
yeah, no, like history, man.
I didn't know that.
And there's also rooms where you do your things. But
Things are done.
Things are done. So that's where we did a lot of shooting, was on the second floor. But the main floor was still open for business
That's
during
yeah.
the day. So like at 11:30 in the morning on a Tuesday, there'd be people like walking in to go do the thing, and we're upstairs filming this gay ass Christmas Carol movie. And there's this room there between the two areas that has like a bunch of like glory hole spots. Right? Do y'all know what glory holes are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So
I don't know what poppers are, but
we know what glory holes are.
yeah.
So the crew started taking over various glory holes for all their like gear and shit. And so with big ass masking tape above each room, it would be like sound glory hole, scenic glory hole, props glory, and it was just great. Like, I mean, we
They
had
literally called it a sound glory
yeah, no,
hole.
they actually wrote sound glory hole.
That's
it was
incredible.
It was incredible. It was.
I'm gonna say, if you're trying to make a sound booth, a glory hole is not gonna work because it's got that hole in it. Sound will get in, sound will go out, guys. For any podcasters or sound engineers out there, don't use a glory hole unless you got some phone to, or a big old ding dang to plug it up with.
That's the technical term, a ding ding. But my favorite story about being at Man's Country is so several of like the bedrooms where you would like do stuff were used for like costume rooms and changing rooms and all that kind of stuff. And there was one extra who was particularly extra, and he came to set with this like big bandage on his wrist, like a Band-Aid, like big ass bandage. And I'm like, you can't have that on. He's like, well, I need to. It's a carpal tunnel. And I was like, well, that's a thing you maybe should have told production about before you got the job. But I'm like, you can't have that on because it's the 70s and that didn't exist yet. And like, yes, this is a campy gay Christmas Carol, but at some point, like, dramaturgy is somewhat important to me.
We want anachronisms to be taken out, like literally, and that's important with wardrobe. So
yeah. He's like, well, I can't take it off. And I'm like, well, shit, what am I going to... I'm like, I need something to cover this up, right? So I'm searching through all of our things and all the racks and like the bag of like, random stuff that we have. And I saw on the bed in the sex room, because they were themed, which is neat. There was a set of leather restraints attached to chains attached to the wall. And I was like, I have an idea. So I go run to our production manager. I'm like, hey, I need a bunch of tools and some pliers and stuff. And he goes, do I need to ask you what these are for? And I said, this is one of those times where it's better if I ask for forgiveness than for permission. Just give me what I need. And he's like, all right. So I'm like sneaking my ass back in there, rip these suckers off the wall, strap them on this dude's wrist, and we're good to go.
Can he be seen in the movie?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he brought it up. He literally was like, oh, remind me of the Fezziwig and Cuff story. And I was like,
yes, I remember that now.
And it wasn't on Fezziwig. It was on one of the extras in the scene.
It was the extra that was just like his arm is around Fezziwig. So
and he's looking beefy as hell.
Yeah,
Beefy.
and you could see his arm. Like that was like I knew that's what the shot was. And I'm like, I can't have this giant, we can't have this bandage.
Because I was going to say, just throw him in a long sleeve, but you got to see those muscles.
But he's supposed to be beefy, and that's the whole point of that story, yeah. So
you're the reason that this place is closed because you took their themed room apart.
I totally did.
Did you fix it?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
He said, did you fix it? And I just looked at his face and instantly like, nope, he did not.
You're like, hey, that was 6 years ago.
Who knows? 6 years ago, I spent 3 days in Man's Country with Bruce Valanche and Ronnie Kroll. Like I did great. That's my life. That's
There's also movie had some people that were recognizable. There's the person you loved,
Megan Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Oh my God, I still love that woman. I don't know if she remember who I am anymore, but Megan Kavanaugh played the ghost of Christmas Present. I'm getting very good at this. She is most notably known for playing Marla Hooch in A League of Their Own. As well as the character name I cannot remember, but from Robin Hood Men in Tights. I adore Megan Kavanaugh up and down. I don't know if she remembers who I am. If she does, hi.
Hey,
great.
We'd love to have you on the show.
She's great. What a gem. What a gem she was. Jojo Baby, who is a Chicago institution of club kid culture.
That's what I was like, this Queen sort of person. And you're like, oh, that's JoJo Baby. I'm like, I don't know who that is, but it seems like Club Kid.
Yeah, no, JoJo Baby is fantastic.
That's awesome. And then I actually ended up recognizing the Bob Cratchit's partner in the movie, Scott Duff, because he's connected to Memphis. His partner went to University of Memphis and stuff and started participates in a theater program that I was part of and everything. So I was like, oh my God, that's Scott Duff. So it's interesting, the connections that you see in this movie that I saw in this movie, just because you worked on it. And I'm like, oh, this is Chicago. This is a Chicago theater and film scene and stuff.
Yeah, it's David Serta's in it. This film is pretty quintessential Chicago. I mean, Becca Kaufman, who does I don't know if she still does it, but she does the singer showcase down at Fitzgerald's in Berwyn, which I actually got to do because I met her doing the film. The fun thing about me being a part of this film, so it was 2012. It was the very early stages of my Chicago career, if we want to call it that. But I mean, really, at that point, I didn't know that many people. I got brought onto a film for Wardrobe, which is, if you know who I am, if you know me, Wardrobe is not the first thing that you would.
No, I literally was like, why aren't you in this dance scene, Ryan?
Thank you. This was also just a few months before I had ever done my first Fly Honey show. So that just that's how long ago this was, and how way before I was even a little bit of the established that I am now, which is not very much. But I got to meet some great people on it. It was a lot of fun. I got paid.
Woo! That's always good to do an artistic project where you get paid.
I have an IMDb credit now, just the one, but it's there.
It's very important.
It's very important. It's on my resume. It's not on my resume. It should be.
It's the URL to IMDb.
That's his entire resume now. It's just that.
I tried to put a picture of myself up on that IMDb page, and it tried to charge me money.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you need a pro
no.
account.
I'm like, but that's me. That's my
like,
name.
"That's me."
Okay, well.
No, the thing about that is you need a pro account to do that. I only know this from listening to other podcasts.
Sure.
And if you then go off from pro, it will take down everything that you've done. So mainly it would be agents and things like that to be putting that up, because an agent is always going to have a pro account.
That makes
So
sense.
you need to find your agent and
Working
be like,
on it.
Put my picture on IMDb. Thank you.
Working on it.
Just find someone that has a pro account. Just
Hey, find just a friend who has an agent and say, hey, I'll give you $15, maybe that's how much a month is, to put my friend's photo on his IMDb. Do it.
I mean, it'd be really great if I got a real agent and could
They did it
have
themselves,
someone
yeah.
do it. Yeah,
Actually-
that's the goal, I think.
Actually, this is perfect. What's your Twitter? Or do you have a Twitter or anything?
I don't have a Twitter, but I have
Instagram?
I have an Instagram.
What's your Instagram?
It's Rai Tangalang.
Okay, find just
Don't you judge me, Corwyn.
anyone listening who has an IMDb Pro account, find the best picture, take a screenshot of that picture and upload it to his IMDb. We will have a link to both his Instagram and his IMDb in the description.
Yes.
you're going places, Ryan.
We'll
Even
get
though
this
I'm
done.
judging you for your Instagram.
Hey, Duo Grunfox, if you're listening and have an IMDb Pro account, put that up there. He loves getting shout outs.
You've given him a bunch, so he'll enjoy this episode a lot.
Also, on Mostly Playing PlayStation, which is pre-recorded, I'm shouting him out, but he's always the only person in the Twitch chat room, to the point when if we get a third viewer, I'll say, Grunfox, we have a third viewer, and he's like, yeah, and then immediately that
They
third
leave?
person leaves. And I said, someday we'll get to 4, and the fourth one will immediately leave, but we'll keep the third Grunfox.
Too bad I always work whenever you're doing that, or I'll just turn it on in the background and just pretend like I'm watching.
Well, you can just listen. It's practically a one-man podcast. You don't need the visual element.
'Cause you,
but Twitch is a game thing, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't be on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's blocked by my network, I believe.
Ooh.
Um,
You could get the Twitch app and use it on your phone.
that's a lot of work.
I mean, it's just downloading one app.
I think I do have the Twitch app on my phone actually
let's-
already.
You get one of these then. I just gave him a middle finger.
Eventually I'll watch it.
Yeah.
If you play a game that I want to watch.
Oh, it's Spyro, Ripto's Rage.
I know. I need to
well-
get that game. Okay. Anyway,
Hold
back to-
on. The videos are saved. You can watch them not live.
I can do that.
Oh, throw in the shadiest of shade.
I will support James and his other projects because he has provided this platform for me to talk about movies that I love.
And guess what? Because of this, you get to talk to one of your director of one of your favorite movies. Can we close on this?
Before we close, this movie did also have some original music. Yes,
It did. Yeah, there was a bunch of original music. One of the songs, I can't remember the name of it. So, it's called Amazing. I'm reading the back of the DVD cover. It's called Amazing. Was sung by Jason Gould. Yep, Jason Gould, and he is Barbra Streisand's son.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
oh
a
my
thing.
God.
Yeah.
And
Who
then-
apparently does not want to be associated with Barbra Streisand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
you just associated them.
I did. Damn it.
And then the Christmas present, her makeup was incredible because she was slowly aging or rapidly aging every time she came on screen. Love the makeup effects for that. Her children were terrifying.
Ignorance and want.
Ignorance and want. So terrifying. Towards the end of the movie, I was a little thrown off by like the props just coming out of nowhere for like fully prepared like foods and like drinks and things. And like I would be like, what? And then Ryan would turn to me and go, how convenient. Because they just like Scrooge orders a turkey for the Cratchit family and like the partner comes out and like gets the turkey from the doorman or whatever and like turns around and it's like a turkey on a silver platter. Like no boxing, no like nothing like that. Just like straight up a turkey and fixings on a platter. I'm like, that would be cold. That's cold. That's not proper food safety.
Unless they pulled it from a food truck. I do have a wardrobe-related question.
Yes, please.
Banged boyfriend. He has a polo with a lion on it.
Yeah.
Where can I find a shirt like that?
Oh, God. So that we pulled from a thrift store that someone had worked for. But here's the thing. When you're working on a film, like there's a whole bunch of rules you have to abide by. Like you can't have any branding that isn't like a part of the film. So I spent about 2 days scouring the internet for what the hell brand this was. Cause I couldn't, like, if it was like, you know, Express has like a little lion as its logo. So like if it was a branded lion, we couldn't use it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anything. So like, thank God.
There was
Don't look for it.
Maybe not. It might not have been back then, but you could have taken a picture of it, then uploaded the picture online, then did a Google
image search.
Yeah.
It was 2012. We didn't have that technology back then. We were still using carrier pigeon and raven.
Yes, carrier ravens.
I thought you were going to say we were still using Dogpile. That was a search engine.
Was it really?
Oh.
Yeah, it's called Dogpile. It takes searches from all the other search engines and compiles it together into a dog pile.
To just show you what Google would have showed you anyway?
Yep.
Great.
Let me quickly rattle off some notes, and then the vocal effects were really nice in the beginning and throughout with the ghosts. We've been waiting all year. Here's the papers for our 12 Days of Christmas parody song. What if Weird Al said, here's my Smells Like Teen Spirit parody song. Here's my Ridin' Dirty parody song. No, just give it your own name. We'll be able, from context clues that it's a Christmas movie and you say 12 something of something, we'll get it.
I did like the music in this. Funny enough, I don't know music, but I did like the music in this. I was like, oh, original song. Oh, I like it. It's so good.
I think I really
Can't goof a ghost. I wrote that down because that was a very important part. You can't goof a ghost. Scrooge tries to lie to the ghost of Christmas past, and he's just like, bitch, I was there.
And when he finds the boyfriend in fizzy wigs, he screams, I feel like Christmas morning. He loved Christmas back then. When Scrooge calls someone and he's testing the waters at the end when he found Christmas spirit, and he says, hey, and you want to know what? Merry Christmas. I said, they just respond with, fuck you, happy holidays, bitch.
Yes. Call Scrooge out. There are many holidays to celebrate around this time.
There are, which he brings up earlier in the film. He says, he's like, wow, Merry Christmas,
Happy Hanukkah. And then
Kwanzaa or whatever pagan holiday bullshit you celebrate.
That was when he was a dick.
He says pagan.
Oh,
yeah.
But not bullshit to celebrate.
It's implied.
Yeah. Just obsessive cursing was implied by every single line he said.
He was doing a dictionary version of cursing.
Yes, dictionary. Okay, and you did you have any other notes or fun stories for us, Ryan?
I just couple of just moments. So you had mentioned the makeup before.
Yeah.
And my very dear friend Laura Michael was the makeup artist on the film. She's the one that got me the job initially. Her and I got incredibly close working on this film because it was her and I just like cooped up with the rest of the crew in this like tiny ass little room while they were filming literally on the next wall, like on the other side of the wall. Like all those scenes in Ben's apartment was like Laura and I just like up against the wall trying not to make too much noise. God, I'm sure there's like a million funny stories about this film, and I just can't think of them off the top of my head. You want to know what? I'm rushed.
We'll have you back next Christmas. We'll do the movie again.
You can just, if you would like to share the podcast, be like, hey, I'm on this, my first podcast. You can, share some of the stories in that social media stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Smart. Try to think of those things.
And tag all the famous people you know in it.
Yes.
Have
Speaking
them
of
listen.
tagging of famous people.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. So this
Episode
morning,
2,
episode 2 was about Monster Pies. It came out today.
as the time we're recording this.
Yeah, as of the time we're recording it. And I sleep forever. I just want people to know I sleep in forever. So I just woke up this afternoon to like just just messages from James like, oh my God, the director for Monster Pies messaged us.
Well,
I was
my
like,
first one was the director of Monster Pies is listening to our podcast right now. The director of Monster Pies messaged us. The director of Monster Pies did all of this cool stuff and thanked us for talking about it on our podcast.
I just wake up to all those messages and I instantly am like screaming in my apartment. Thankfully, my roommates weren't home or they would have walked into my room like, what the hell? Are you dying? Because it's literally like, I talk about the movie a lot and I make a lot of my friends watch the movie because it's one of those that actually makes me experience emotion pretty much every time that I watch it. And it just, I love the movie. It's one of my favorite LGBT movies ever. It's definitely got its flaws, but that's fine. It is what it is of that time. So I love the movie. And for James to upload it and then like he tagged Monster Pies and like it just got
I didn't know it was going to do it. I just thought maybe someone who likes the movie, maybe it would wind up on their wall or something to go there.
It was a good idea, and I did not expect, like,
The
of all things to
director.
wake up to this morning, I did not expect to wake up to the director of that movie messaging us about it, which is incredible, honestly.
At the time, the episode had 3 listens. One of them was the director.
That's great. So that's just to further point out that LGBT filmmakers and things, we do want to listen, or we do want to watch your movies and like listen to them, and we'd love you to listen to our podcast.
But we cannot stress this enough. If you want us to do your movie on this podcast, give us money. We're not gonna do some bullshit for free. We want paid promotions if you want us to say nothing but great things about it. Because if you don't pay us, you better believe I'm calling your characters stuff like Teenage Pete Holmes or Movie Boy.
He heard us talking like that and loved it. That's great. That's incredible.
His computer went to Google Pete Holmes this morning. Absolutely. He had to have.
Now I just want the actors to also listen to the podcast. I don't remember their names. I think one of them is Tristan Barr. I think that's the Pete Holmes one. Need them to watch it and be like, what? Movie Boy? That's my name now? Because it is.
I want Movie Store MILF to watch it or to listen.
God.
She'd be like, yeah, I am a MILF. I am a mother. I'd like to fuck. Someone says that to themselves. They call themselves a MILF. I'm a mother. I'd like to fuck. Come here, mother.
Ryan's like, I'm not showing this to my mom. He's just in the corner, like very.
I'm still here, I promise.
He's in the corner, very confused.
Ryan, what do you have to plug? This is coming out, I think.
This will be our Christmas episode,
Will
so
this be
it'll be the day before
December,
Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, yes.
Fantastic. That's still more than enough time for me to plug my cabaret performance at
Yes.
Davenport's on February 11th.
Hell yeah.
Frankie, Leo Bennett, and myself. If y'all don't know Frankie, he's great.
He's one of our other coworkers, and he also does a lot in the Chicago theater scene.
Mm-hmm. We are our work wives because we spend too much time together at work and also in life. But so we are writing a podcast. That's what this is. We're writing a cabaret.
If you guys want to do a podcast, please let me know.
We would be hilarious on a podcast.
Yeah. Hey, if
we'll talk
about this
about
later.
It.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. So we're writing a cabaret show that's called Till Death Do Us Part. and it is about us renewing our work-wifely vows to one another through the device of the American Musical Theater. So we're going to be singing our faces off for like an hour at Davenport's. February 11th, come check it out. The ticket prices will be posted by the time this
Yeah, we'll drop a
airs.
link.
Hey, Corwyn, what's up? Do you think you could get gums from him for me?
You should include that in your business deal about recording a podcast. You need it in your contract.
I need comms for everything you do. For me, I'll pay. Nicole, she needs
Nicole
a comp.
gets the comp.
Yeah.
We'll talk. That's my big plug.
All right, and we will also
Yes.
tweet out about it before the show as well.
Sweet.
Because you're a friend of the show
I'm
now.
a friend of the show, guys. This is my
Yeah.
first podcast.
Yeah,
That's incredible. We'd love to
I'm
have
having a
you
great time.
again at some point watching other LGBT movies.
This is my 4th weekly podcast.
He does a lot, and we appreciate him for it. That's the nicest thing I'll ever say to you. You're welcome.
You're welcome. That's from Community.
No, there's a show on MTV that I think it's called Awkward, and there's a really, really mean like head cheerleader kind of girl character, and every time she says anything mean, she just goes, "You're welcome." And like that's
Ooh.
exactly why I say that. You any more plugs?
That's
for you, Ryan?
That's
Hey.
the plug.
Okay, great. So yeah, go and see his cabaret with Frankie. They're both wonderful, and I enjoy them very much. That's also the sappiest thing you'll hear from me. And then follow him on social media and stuff, Instagram, and find him in the movie.
Also, remember, please, if you have an IMDb Pro account, go to his Instagram, screenshot that. Put it on IMDb. Links will be in the description.
We just want him to get famous so that he can bring us up.
Oh,
That's what
oh
it's
my-
all
yes.
about.
we are comfortable riding on coattails.
I'd also my plug is just my theater company, Saltbox Theatre Collective, is doing a show called Boy Gets Girl at the Edge off Broadway in Chicago in January. You can get tickets on brownpapertickets.com or just check out Saltbox Theatre collective.org. I think it's Saltbox Theatre. I'll put a link.
I'll put a link.
James will put a link. I'll include it in sharing and stuff.
Check out my other podcast, Mostly Speaking Sentai. It's my betrothed and I, Nicole. We're watching Super Sentai. It's the source material for Power Rangers. We have a guest come on who has never seen it most of the time, and we're introducing them to the show for the first time. We're not pretentious. We're totally inclusive because we're trying to get them and our listeners into the show. Listen to I'll Get There. That's with our friends Courtney and Monse. We're just bullshitting an hour and a half away. Coming up soon, What the Hell Mouth. It's a podcast with our friends Tavia and Anissa, or TC and Anissa. TC loves Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Anissa hates it, and I've never seen it. I'm now the unbiased opinion in their arguments. We're watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and we're mostly talking about that, just like Mostly Speaking Sentai. We don't really talk about it that much, as the name implies. Also, check out my raps. Marsh, space, land, space, monster, as I say all the time. You'll love it. You'll think I'm very talented when you hear it. You'll give me the credit I'm due, but you will never listen to it again. I don't know why. The music listeners have zero retention.
And I don't
Someone
listen to music, so
explain.
that's why.
You got to get that drag queen to do it, though. You got to get
We
that.
actually talked
I
Yes,
know. I'm
yes.
bringing. I listened to it the other day.
You did, and it's
did.
amazing. I love it.
If you are a drag queen, please do my music while performing. See if that works. I don't know if it will. Actually, I know who it will impress. The person at the bar and the sound guy. That's all I have, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Also, my other podcast, This Movie's Gay. Check it out.
And you're starting sort of a media thing too, Marshland Media, right?
I mean, that's
just what you're calling yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marshland Media. If you need a podcast recorded in Chicago, let me know.
Yeah, follow all of his stuff. Look at his blog posts.
Yeah, at MSS Pod on Twitter. That's for Mostly Speaking Sentai. This Movie's Gay on Twitter for this podcast.
Yes, all of that stuff. We will all have our social media things in this link and description. Follow us, tweet at us, tell us what movies you want us to watch. If you are involved in a movie and want to watch it with us, let us know.
That's what I did.
That's what Ryan did immediately. He listened to the first episode and was like, you doing a Christmas movie? I know what you should do. I was like, I love that. Let's do it.
Also, if you know of any LGBTQ tokusatsu movies, I'm pretty sure there aren't any, but if you do know of anyone, let us know. Also, any sword and sorcery movies that are gay as hell, we want these so bad.
Yeah, please tell us.
Because I do not have the time to write one, as Corwyn and I have talked about before.
We'll do it eventually.
Yeah. God, that would be fucking amazing if we wrote and produced a gay sword and sorcery movie.
Just need to keep tweeting at all of the LGBT filmmakers and just be like, hello, make this movie for us.
But
hello, we have pitches.
Will there be time traveling poppers in this film? Because that's going to clinch the deal right
You want to
there.
know what it would be? We would make a popper a potion for the sword and sorcery. So it's a potion that you smell and you get relaxed so you can get into bed.
I'm loving this script already. Let's go. And yeah, okay, I think that's all our plugs and everything. Thank you so much for listening to us, and thank you, Ryan, for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me, y'all. This was fun.
I've been James.
I've been Corwyn.
I've been Ryan.
And thank you very much.
We're out.
Bye.
Bye.